Let me be brutally honest with you. Most men expose themselves with their words. It's not their outfit, not their money, not even their achievements. It's the sentences that slip out of their mouths that tell you instantly, this man is sharp or this man is weak. You know what I'm talking about. You've been around guys who talk big, but every word makes them sound insecure. You've seen men post quotes online thinking they're profound, but really, they're screaming, I don't have it figured out. Here's the truth. Intelligent men don't just prove themselves through what they know. They prove it by what they never say. Because certain phrases expose weakness, laziness, victimhood, or insecurity instantly. So today we're breaking down 7 things an intelligent man will never say. And I'll warn you, it's going to sting. If you catch yourself saying these things, don't get defensive. Take it as a wake-up call. Weak men will get angry at this video. Intelligent men will listen, reflect, and level up. The choice is yours. Let's get into it. 1. That's just the way I am. This is the anthem of weak men. You know who says this? The guy who explodes in anger and then shrugs it off like, well, that's just how I am. Or the guy who's been stuck in the same place for years, refusing to grow, blaming his personality instead of his effort. Let me tell you something. That's just the way I am is the verbal equivalent of saying, I've given up on myself. It's a lazy man's excuse. It's basically announcing to the world, I'm not willing to improve, so accept me at my lowest. Intelligent men don't do that. Intelligent men evolve. They recognize their flaws and they work on them. They don't weaponize their weaknesses as an excuse. Instead of saying, that's just the way I am, intelligent men say, this is something I need to work on. That's maturity. That's strength. That's growth. Savage truth. If you keep saying, that's just the way I am, don't complain when people outgrow you. Because they will. 2. It's not my fault. This phrase is pure victim mentality. Yes, life is unfair. Yes, people screw you over. Yes, bad things happen that aren't your fault. But here's the brutal truth. If you spend your life crying, it's not my fault, you'll stay stuck forever. Why? Because blame changes nothing. You can be right about who hurt you, but being right doesn't fix your life. Weak men love to point fingers. Intelligent men take responsibility, even when it wasn't their fault. Because responsibility equals power. If you're broke, maybe it wasn't your fault how you grew up, but it is your responsibility to do something about it. If you're out of shape, maybe it's not your fault you inherited bad genetics, but it's still your responsibility to build habits that give you strength. Savage truth, saying, it's not my fault, keeps you powerless. Intelligent men don't waste time assigning blame. They ask, what's my move now? 3. I already know that. This one is sneaky, but it exposes arrogance instantly. You've seen guys do it. Someone gives advice and they cut them off with, yeah, I know that. But if you look at their life, their results prove they don't know anything. Because if you really knew it, you'd be living it. If you really understood it, you wouldn't feel threatened by hearing it again. Intelligent men don't shut down learning. They stay curious, even about things they've heard before. They know there's always a new perspective, a deeper angle, or a reminder they needed. Weak men, on the other hand, protect their fragile ego by pretending they already know everything. But that arrogance keeps them stagnant. Savage truth. The guy always saying, I already know that, is usually the one going nowhere in life. 4. It's impossible. This one's a killer. You know who says impossible? Quitters. People who tried once, failed, and now want to convince the world that no one else can succeed either. History is full of men who proved the word impossible was a lie. Flying was impossible. Talking to someone on the other side of the planet instantly was impossible. Running a mile under 4 minutes was impossible, until someone ignored the quitters and did it. Intelligent men don't waste their breath saying impossible. They know that word is just a mask for fear. Instead, they ask, how can this be done? Or what's the first step? Weak men throw around the word impossible to protect their ego from the pain of trying and failing. Intelligent men know failure is part of the process. Savage truth. Every time you say impossible, you're not describing reality, you're describing your own limits. 5. I don't care. This one exposes insecurity like nothing else. Men love to say, "I don't care," as a defense mechanism. A woman rejects them, "I don't care." Their boss criticizes them, "I don't care." Someone calls them out online, "I don't care." But here's the irony. If you really didn't care, you wouldn't announce it. Saying, "I don't care," is proof that you actually do care. Intelligent men don't need to hide behind fake indifference. They care about the things that matter, and they don't waste energy pretending otherwise. Weak men act cold because they think it makes them look strong, but everyone can see through it. Real strength is admitting you care, but also showing that you're not controlled by it. Savage truth. Constantly saying, "I don't care," doesn't make you look strong. It makes you look bitter, insecure, and fragile. 6. I'm better than him. This one screams insecurity. Weak men constantly compare themselves to other men. They need to say, "I'm better than him," because they're desperate for validation. But intelligent men, they don't play that game. They know comparison is a trap. There will always be someone richer, stronger, smarter, or more successful. If your identity is built on being better than him, you'll crumble the second you meet someone above your level. Intelligent men measure themselves against their past self, not random strangers. They ask, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" That's a game you can actually win. Savage truth. The louder a man says, "I'm better than him," the more obvious it is that he isn't. 7. I can't. This is the weakest phrase in existence. Every time you say, "I can't," you're giving your brain permission to quit. You're programming yourself to stay small. Intelligent men know words are powerful. They don't say, "I can't." They say, "I haven't figured it out yet," or "I'll find a way," or "I need to learn." Weak men fold the second things get tough. Intelligent men expect resistance. They know it's part of the game. Savage truth. I can't is the reason your life looks exactly the same year after year. So here's the real question. How many of these do you say? 1, 2, all 7? If you caught yourself on this list, don't get defensive, get better. Weak men will click away and stay the same. Intelligent men will take this as a wake-up call and start changing the way they speak. And let me warn you, once you stop saying these things, people will notice. They'll treat you differently. They'll respect you more. You'll respect yourself more. Now, if this video hit you hard, that's the point. Growth is supposed to sting. If you want more of these brutal truths, the kind your friends are too scared to tell you, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and stick around. Because I'm not here to sugarcoat life. I'm here to give you the raw truth that actually makes you better. Stay soft if you want, or step up. The choice is yours.